Well, Mike, we're 2 weeks out from the Kentucky Derby, and Smile Happy just worked with his stablemate Tiz the Bomb. What do you think of the work?
I think he did it nice and easy, and didn't have any problems. Went around in they said a minute and 1/5. Kenny told Brian and Corey to go in a minute flat. I guess that's close enough.
There's a whole group of people out here watching. What percentage of them are Mackins that are out here visiting?
There was 1, 2, 3, 5 of us. 5 or 6 Mackins out here this morning.
And the rest are FOMs, friends of
Yes.
Mackins?
Yes.
Including the Montanos, Joey Montano out there?
Yes. Yeah, we've known the Montano family a long time.
Can you talk about what this whole last few weeks has meant to your family, and coming back, and now it's almost, the race is almost here. Just talk about that.
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, we've been doing this since 1991, and this is the closest we've gotten. So it's a little different, but it's been a lot of fun, and looking forward to the next 2 weeks.
Can you take us back just kind of to the genesis of how it started in '91 and who all was involved and why you got into it?
It was my dad and a business partner of his bought 3 horses, and his business partner retired in '94. They were under their names till then, and then I don't know whether it was my mom or dad came up with the Lucky7 Stable, and we kept the horses, and we've been running as Lucky7 Stable ever since.
About approximately how many people are involved now?
How many are involved?
Yeah, or is it just you?
Well, no. There's my parents' 5 children.
Okay.
I have 3 brothers and 1 sister, and there are 18 of my parents' grandchildren, and 6 of my grandchildren, which would, I guess, be the great-grandchildren of my parents.
And you said that's why, because Jim McInvale famously tried to, or said he told you he wanted to buy into the horse if you're looking to sell, and you said?
We've got enough owners. We got a big family. And I think most of our cousins that are here in Louisville will be out there on the 7th. And my mother's originally from Philadelphia, and we've got, I don't know, maybe 15 or so coming from Philadelphia, cousins and children of cousins that'll be coming down on for the Derby this year.
Was this your best horse, or who was your best horse before this?
Before this, you flip a coin between Minister's Baby and Crafty Shaw. Minister's Baby won out in Iowa, stakes out in Iowa. Then she won the Gardenia, I think was 01 or 02, 01, I guess. Crafty Shaw was 3rd in the Southwest. He won the Rebel.
Nice.
And then he got hurt in the Arkansas Derby. So I guess with him, we were briefly on the Derby trail for about 4 weeks or so, and then after he got hurt, we were done for the year. But he came back, and we ended up selling him to Charlie Sella. But he came. I mean, he ended up winning over $1 million. He won, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 grade 3s.
Nice.
He was nice horse. Nice horse. He had to do a little weaving in between horses. Got some dirt in his face, and even when he won at Keeneland and in the Jockey Cup here, he had to come in between horses, and he's done that with no problem.
As a business proposition, the money you spend to get here, I mean, does a normal person do something like this, or you know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know anybody in the horse business I would call normal. You got to be a little crazy to get in this business, because it's a tough business. But yeah, I think, and even, when my father and I got started in the horses 31 years ago, you always say one day maybe we'll get to the Kentucky Derby. But it's all about just coming out here with family and friends and getting your picture taken in the winner's circle, whether it be a $10,000 claimer or the Kentucky Derby. So
The Derby would be. Did you do this your whole life, or?
I'm born and raised in Louisville. I've been coming out here to Churchill Downs as long as I can remember. So but actually owning horses since '91.
Is the Derby something your family goes to every year, as being in Louisville, or?
We've actually, for the most part, going to the Derby has been work with our businesses and bringing customers in, and it's been work, but fun. But here the last few years, I haven't been to the Derby. I've had other people in the business take care of that, and so yeah, this will be the first Derby I've been to in the last couple of years. Nobody's really been to the Derby, but the couple of years before that, I'd been taking Derby off.
Sticker shock when you see the cost of tickets, especially for a large group such as you all are going to have?
No. I mean, like I said, even though I haven't been coming to the Derby, we've been getting tickets for customers, and our employees have been taking customers. So I'm up. I guess I'm up to date on what the costs are to get to the Derby.
How much did Smile Happy cost?
$185.
And do you have any idea of the 3 decades or so how much money you've actually poured into this to get here when it really comes down to it?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea off the top of my head.
Gotcha. Well into the millions, I would think, right? I mean, you almost have to.
Oh, well, I mean, just last year with the 6 horses, not last year, the year before in 2020, going to the yearling sale, we bought 6. Smile Happy, Rattle and Roll, Lucky Boss, Behave Virginia, and then there's 2 colts that haven't started yet.
And more or less what that cost?
And we spent $185 for him, $210 for Rattle and Roll, $35 for Lucky Boss, and $150 for to $200 for the other 2. Hey Virginia, I think was $110.
So like $600,000-$700,000.
Yes.
But is this reflecting sort of a push? It's your first group of yearlings that you had Kenny pick out for you. This is the first time you've had horses with him, correct?
He had Minister's Baby, and he had a few more back in 01. Minister's Baby was the best one of ours that we gave him. But yes, this is the first group that we went to the sale with Kenny and bought horses.
Was one of the appeals of him the fact that while he would love to have more clients that bought $1 million horses, that he's known for buying graded stakes winners that don't cost a lot of money. He looks for that long hip in them and all that. Was that part of?
Yeah, our whole thing over the years is we'd like to find horses somewhere in that 100 to 300 range. There's a lot of good horses that go through either Fasig-Tipton or Keeneland for that price range that do very, very well year in and year out. And at that level, when you're buying horses, you stand a chance of getting out on them. We're not the type that are going to go out and spend, what they spend, $2.3 million down at Ocala this past week for one of them, and a 1.7, and
Uncle Mo, 2.3 million.
Yeah, that's
Very Young and Mr. Baffert.
Yeah, that's not anything that I have any plans on doing. But it's kind of hard to get out on a $2.3 million horse. But a horse that's $200,000, I mean, maiden specials or this meet at Churchill are going to be what?
110.
110.
Yeah.
110. So, that's 60,000.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Breaking a maiden special here, and you win a couple allowances, and you're getting close to getting out.
Right.
So it's possible to not spend or lose a lot of money.
So that is on your mind. I mean, the business model does have a role to play in this.
I don't have unlimited funds like some people in this business. Yeah, no, we have always tried to make money in this business. Not
Really? Do you feel like you made money?
If I had to add it up over the last 30 years, give or take a little bit, we're probably a little behind, but not tremendously behind.
That's incredible.
We're not 7 figures behind.
What's the family business?
Right now, we've in the past couple years, we've been cutting back. We've sold a couple of businesses. We've got one business left. It's metal sales manufacturing, a roll form steel roofing and siding. We've got plant in Sellersburg, plant in New Albany, and 19 other plants from Anchorage, Alaska, down to Jacksonville, Florida.
What will Derby Day be like for you guys? Have you planned it out yet?
I'm getting here late.
Are you really?
I'm taking Friday off and doing. Well, I think I may run down to Claiborne and see Run Happy Friday morning. We're talking about doing that, and then I'm going to take the rest of the day off. And I don't think I'm going to get out here until maybe 2, 3 o'clock on Saturday. I won't be able to sit down on Saturday. So
You feel more butterflies coming into this race than any other race you've been involved in?
well, every other race we've been involved in. We didn't enter but 2 days before. To a certain extent, I feel like we entered in this race back in November or even October when Rattle and Roll won the Futurity. So this race has been talked about. A normal race, we wouldn't have talked about. I mean, Lucky Boss, we're going to enter him Sunday for next Friday, closing day at Keeneland. Kenny and I talked about, just made that decision this morning. So there is no long lead up to a normal race.
Talk about his races. You have touched on this, but he's been on the Derby Trail since he won the Kentucky Jockey Club here. Then he runs into Epicenter, and then he runs into Zandon, two of the favorites for the Kentucky Derby, and runs second to him. I mean, has there been any sense of disappointment, or do you think, look, this is a horse that won a graded stakes and is, off a maiden race, and how far he's come in a short period of time, and how lightly raced he still is?
I was disappointed in the Bluegrass until I got down to the track to talk to Corey and Brian, and somebody with a microphone that had a camera standing next to her asked me, how does it feel to have your first Derby qualifier? And it dawned on me that the Bluegrass was just a battle. The war's May 7th. That's all Kenny and I've talked about, is getting the horse to May 7th healthy and fit. So I wasn't disappointed at all. I wasn't briefly. I mean, you're always a little disappointed when you don't win a race, but after she asked that question, all that disappointment quickly went away. I mean, if you take a look at over the years, and I can't quote anything, but there's been Derby winners that have, gone through the sales ring for $20,000, $30,000,
Sure.
and there's some $1 million horses that have gone through the sales ring. I think what the highest price was Fuchai Pegasus, or however you say it. I mean, he was 4 point whatever.
Yeah.
But there's been quite a few in the years that have gone through that have been from 20,000 to a couple 100,000.
Does that keep you invested emotionally that we could hit the jackpot at some point?
Yeah, it's all possible.